Hi Stitchy friends, Jenny here, back after quite a long absence with FlossTube episode 14. Yes, according to looking back at episode 13, YouTube says that was 4 months ago. That's crazy! I did not mean to be gone that long, but life was bananas. We had a couple of really sad, untimely deaths in the family. I had a string of migraines like you would not believe. It was like maybe like 3 weeks solid of almost nonstop migraine, and they were really severe. And I spent a couple of days actually in bed, which is really unusual for me. I get a lot of migraines in general, so I'm pretty used to kind of toughing it out. I have all the different, ice packs that you can wear and all kinds of, medicine, this and that. So I can usually tough it out, but these were brutal. Yeah, and then the latest thing I'm going to mention really briefly and just skim past it. It's going to seem like, oh wow, she really doesn't care, but it's because I care too much and don't want to cry on camera. My cat Ginger recently got diagnosed with cancer, and we're looking at losing her within the next month or two. So that's really, really hard, and I'm not going to talk about it, but she might make an appearance because she's actually walking around with me. She gets really interested when I film because it's weird, me home alone, sitting, just talking into the air as though someone's there when someone isn't. I think she thinks it's weird. She'll sit there and just stare at me like with a concerned look on her face. She's so cute. So yeah, that's been my life, and just other stuff going on too. It's just been absolutely insane, but I'm not gonna get into any of it because let's keep it positive and fun and all about stitching. So with that in mind, let's blast right into my 2 finishes that I have to share with you today. First one is Millie Melon Eater. When I showed you last time, it was just part of a possum and no watermelon, and now look at this. It's so cute! So this is a design by Ingleside Imaginarium. These are all called for colors. Yeah, I think I didn't switch any out, I don't think. And it is I got notes that I'm going to be looking at. That's what I'm looking over. 32 count, linen by Picture This Plus, and this beautiful yellow colorway is called Chime. I'm so happy with this. It's ridiculous. I can't wait to put it in a frame. I just haven't gotten around to like going and getting a frame. So for the time being, I've actually just taken a couple pieces of painter's tape and taped it up on my sewing room wall. Does that count as an FFO? I'm guessing no, but it's allowed me to enjoy it while I wait to get around to getting a frame. And so that's that one. And then my second finish is Holly Hobbie. Can I just tell you, I'm so proud of myself for finishing, including backstitching, on 2 projects. Well done, Jenny. This one, and this one's a really old one too, because this is one of the first projects I started when I was getting back into cross stitching. So I think that would have been April 2022, April, May, somewhere in there. So it's been a while that it's been sitting unfinished, and I just took a notion to finish it one day, and I did. And this one is by Paragon. It's a vintage booklet number 5071. This is a 28 count even weave by Charles Craft. It's their Monaco fabric, and the color is tea-dyed. And it's all called for colors. It's this chart in the booklet actually has a couple of different colorways you can choose from. There's like one that's all reds. There might be one that's like oranges, like I might be making that up, and then the blue one. I went with the classic Holly Hobbie blue. I can't wait to frame this one. This one's a more recent finish, so I haven't even thought about a frame, but I do think I want to put an oval mat, like a blue oval mat. I think that would be so cute. So that'll be fun for my husband because he's the mat cutter in the family. He did say he can cut ovals. He has like all the mat cutting equipment and everything. He's really good at that kind of thing. So I shall hire him to cut my oval Holly Hobbie mat. So that is my finishes. Next up, we'll have work in progress updates, but I have to pause and come right back because they're all over there. All right, I've got all my works in progress from last time ready to give you updates on. Fair warning, only ironed some of these because I was only halfway lazy. All right, so the first one I will show you is my ongoing stitch along that runs all year long, and it is Storied Steeds by Ingleside Imaginarium, and I got pretty far on this one. So the last time I showed you this, I think I was still working on the Kelpie but hadn't quite finished. So I've since finished the Kelpie, completely skipped the next release, and then moved on to I'm going to call it a seahorse because I cannot remember the term right now, but I'll put it either on screen or below. Oh, he's so cute. I love him. So yeah, I've got some good progress, and I worked a little bit more on the framing it out, as you can see. This is a really, really fun stitch, and I love it, but I didn't love the tulpar, I think is the word. This one, it's very brown, and I just didn't love it as much as I've loved the others so far, so I think I might stitch him last. I think I'm going to wait and see what, well, I know what this one looks like now. This one just came out the other day, and this is another dark one. This sky is like dark gray or even black. I'll put a picture up. But I'm going to wait and see what this one is too, and then I'll decide if I like the tulpar as is or if I want to switch them out, because if there is not a Pegasus in here, just like a classic Pegasus, if that's not what this last one is, then the tulpar is going to become a classic Pegasus with like magical rainbow or sparkly purple hair or something, because that will be a little more me. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I haven't done any back stitch. I decided I am just going to wait to the end and do all the back stitch at once. I just think it'll be better that way. I don't know. I might change my mind. We'll see. But at any rate, that's my update on Storied Steeds. All right, so the next one, this is not any sort of stitch along or timed out project, but I've kind of made it into that. I've just been sort of doing, just like pick it up, do one mushroom, put it away for a while. And so without further ado, it's the mushroom sampler. Okay, I forgot to tell you the fabric on the Storied Steeds. I mean, I've told you it before. It is by Zweigart. It's an Opalescent Aida in white, and it's 18 count, right? I'm making my notes. Yep, it's 18 count. And this one here is 36 count by Zweigart. It's a linen, and the color is Agave. So yeah, and this pattern, this chart, I think it's CutePatternsByMaria. All of my information, as always, will always be below in the captions, so anything I forget to mention, just look down there, and if I ever leave something off, just, you know, let me know, and I'll be happy to let you know. But this one has been coming along great. I don't think I'm going to finish it this year because of the way I'm just picking it up, working one, and then putting it away. And I was originally thinking I'll do one mushroom a month, but with everything that went on, I just can't commit to that. So yeah, but I've made progress, and I'm really happy with it. Ginger! Come on up. You want to come on? The camera's shaking because Ginger is rubbing her face on it. This tripod is hers now. Oh yeah, so one thing I got for my birthday was a tripod to hold my shaky camera. I'm not going to tell her no, because with things the way they are, she can just have anything she wants now. But yeah, my in-laws got me a tripod. So now, instead of having to gather together boxes and books and whatever else I can find and experiment with getting the right height and the coffee table moved to the right distance, none of that anymore. Now I can just put the tripod on, which is awesome. So thank you to my in-laws who definitely don't watch YouTube. But yeah, mushroom sampler. Okay, the next one is Pretty Little Tokyo. This is by Satsuma Street, and I think I've told you this is mostly just my project for being in the car, or, you know, going to someone else's house where I know there's going to be a lot of just sort of sitting around, like waiting for family dinner, that kind of thing, you know. So I have made a little progress. I can't remember exactly where I was the last time I showed you, but I know I've been slowly working on this because I do put a few stitches in whenever my husband and I are doing a bunch of driving. So this is coming along great. It's really fun. There have been a couple times when I've been in the house and just wanted to work on it, and I was like, it's meant to be my travel project, but I can't help it, I really want to, and just went ahead and stitched on it. It's awesome. I love it. I'll keep going with that. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to stitch Pretty Little Hawaii next. And I'm really excited about that. I have the floss for it, but I haven't bought the chart yet. I'll wait and buy the chart when I finish that one. All right, next up is my progress on Yellow Submarine. So last time I talked to you, I had half of a fish, and I was waffling on colors like an absolute lunatic. I'm still a lunatic, but I've settled some of the color dilemma. So here we are. Now this looks like I've got a good part of the submarine done, but this is kind of a cheat because I've only stitched half stitches on this white part. You know, I made all that drama about, oh, I don't know what color I'm going to use, and I picked colors, and I'm sitting here and did not bring the colors to tell you which ones, so I'll put it on screen or below to let you know what I chose for the pipes. I can't think. I really can't think. I'm sorry, my brain is scrambled. For the top and the bottom colors. I'll put the color names in the description. But yeah, this is coming along pretty good. I'm really excited. Getting over that hurdle of not being able to decide on the color was great because now I can really get going on this. However, because it's such a dark color of fabric, I kind of have to have really nice light to stitch on it, and a lot of my stitching takes place in the evenings, so I haven't worked on this one quite as much, but I'll pick up on it. Okay, and then the last work in progress that was one I had already showed you is oh yeah, I'm forgetting to tell you any of the fabrics. So Yellow Submarine is 36 count Moonstone by Atomic Ranch. And this next one is going to be Night Walk Down, and it is 36 count linen Fox and Rabbit's Oyster Shell. And this is Night Walk Down. Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower, one of my favorite designers. And here's my update. So this is another one where I haven't got too much further. Last time I had kind of the corner, this, and half a peacock, and I've since finished the peacock and added a little scrolly bit. What I'm finding is that I love the way these variegated threads look, the overdyes look when they're stitched up. I don't entirely love the process of stitching it. Just because I am a ridiculous perfectionist and I get really stressed out about the color pooling, like, as you know, since I talk about it like all the time apparently. But yeah, so I think in general I'm going to be doing kind of more DMC than overdyes, and keeping my overdyed projects to a minimum just because they're kind of a little bit more, they're a lot. But I really love the way they turn out, and this one, I can't wait till this one is done so that I can hang it and enjoy it all the time. Ginger, you want to come up? Hop up. Come on up, baby. It's Ginger, you guys. I hope you can see her. She's walking all over my projects and I'm not going to stop her. You want to walk on my projects, baby? Do you want to say hello to your internet fan base here? All right, I guess she's gonna lay on my projects. That's fine. Baby. Okay, I am gonna have to pause and get up to get my next batch, which is gonna be my new starts since last I saw you. So I'm also gonna have to turn the camera and show you this cat because she's so cute. Oh, I love her. Okay, I'll be right back. Say hi, Ginger. Ginger. Ginger, why do you never look when you're gone? She's so regal. Hi, baby. Hi. Okay, I did turn the camera so that you could get a peek at my girl Ginger here. She's hanging out with me. It's so good. I'm glad she came up and said hello. But yes, okay. So since it's been so many months and since I had 2 finishes, I have a bunch of starts. I have 3 starts, in fact. One that is not a start is the greenhouse stitch along, which if you saw my last episode, you know, I was all excited. That was a stitch along that was about to start. And I had showed you the piece of Picture This Plus Highland that I had got that was too small. I mean, I didn't buy it for this project. I happened to have it in my stash and it was too small. So I had ordered a larger piece. And when that piece came, I'm really unhappy with it. So it looks like this. So it's like this piece is beautiful. That's actually quite beautiful. But the fact that it's inconsistent doesn't work. So I would have had part of my project looking all soft modeling and then part of it looking like something got spilled on it, and it would have filled a good chunk of this fabric. So I was really disappointed and I couldn't use this fabric. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might kind of cut off the stained looking bit and just use the soft modeled bit for another project. But I was like, okay, that's not going to work. And then the stitch along started, but I really still wanted to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll get another piece of fabric. So I got Fiber on a Whim Peridot, which in the stock pictures and shop pictures I looked at, I thought looked quite green. And Peridot is usually a green colored gemstone. And when it showed up, there's no way the camera's going to capture this accurately, but I'll try. It's like a yellow green, and it's almost a neon. It looks like if I broke a highlighter and spilled out, it would be close to that. So it wasn't what I had in mind. And at this point I was like, I can't keep buying fabric. I mean, I have to be really careful with what I spend because, like I've mentioned before, I have my little very small income, small business. So I had to let go of that dream. So I did not stitch the greenhouse stitch along, and I still might go back and stitch it someday, but I will dye my own piece of fabric. No more of this nonsense of buying pieces of fabric, getting them in the mail and being like, wow, they did a terrible job photographing it, or wow, it's very inconsistently dyed. I know, and I know some people love that. Some people like things to look like they're very old and got stained throughout time. That's like a whole vibe, and that's totally cool if that's your jam, but I just like a soft modeling or a strong modeling, but consistency. That's really, I don't want it to look stained. I want it to look intentionally modeled. I don't know. I'm picky. I've mentioned it before. I'm picky. Now I kind of hope you can't see Ginger because she's bathing a part of her that no one wants to watch. Okay, that's too much information. Let's talk more about project. You're so cute, baby. Okay. So my new start, this is one I definitely did start. This one, I needed a project to take on a vacation that I didn't want to go on. And I know that sounds terrible. I sound really ungrateful. Like, there are plenty of people who don't get to go on vacations, but we had to go to a destination wedding that was a giant expense and really stressful, and a destination I really wasn't enthused about, and that was really hard to get to, a whole day of traveling, all different methods of travel. And I couldn't bring any of my cross stitching because I didn't want to always look back on those projects and be like, oh yeah, that was the time that I had to go do that thing. Oh, she's gonna sit right on top of me now, baby. Anyway, I had to start a project that I could specifically take with me and not have it connected to certain memories. Does this make sense? Does this happen to anyone else? Like, when you finish a craft project, if something significant happened during that time period, whenever you look at the finished result, you always remember that time, right? It's sort of like certain songs I'll hear on the radio. Like, there's a Pearl Jam song that was the last song played at my high school prom, and whenever I hear that song, immediately high school prom comes back to me. So it's like that with my cross stitch projects too. Are you going to try to go into the couch cushions? Okay. So anyway, I wanted to pick a new project that would be specifically I hope this goes better than I thought it was, and not the way I'm dreading it will be project. And actually, I did have some fun on this trip. It was a lot. I am not a big travel person, and this amount of travel was just a lot. I don't like boats. It was an extremely choppy ferry ride that I had to take on a very small ferry. Not my jam. But it was this person who got married. It's been a long time coming, and I'm very happy for them. So that, and we also had some really wonderful dinners. One of the couples that went are like our dear friends, so we had some nice times with them. So there's good stuff. So in the end, I needn't have worried, but I started a new project. All this build up to say, I started a project called Emo Birds by Lindy Stitches. And this is how far I got on the trip. I haven't touched it since the trip, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I have. So we were there it was in St. John. Yeah, if you've ever been there. I mean, I'm sure it's really pretty if you're into that kind of like tropical remote island. That's awesome. I'm more of a go to Edinburgh and go to the museums kind of a gal, you know? But at any rate, I got a bunch done here, but not a ton. And this one has kind of been on the back burner. I have a feeling I'm going to get in the mood for this again as we get closer to Halloween, because it's got kind of spooky vibes. I'll put a picture up of the design here. Lindy Stitches is another one of my favorite designers. Her stitches are so quirky and fun. And the minute I saw this design, it just made me laugh. It's so funny and cute. So I thought it was the perfect project to take on a trip where I knew I might need some refs. And can we talk about this fabric for a minute? This is the stuff of dreams. This is by Seraphim. The color is Finian, and I think it's 36 count. I'm gonna have to look at, oh, it's 32 count. 32 count, so it's absolute delight to stitch on. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's sort of like this, it's not a true gray. It's got hints of pink and blue in it. It's magical. And I bought this at Lindy Stitches shop as well. I just absolutely love it. Highly recommend this fabric. This is the kind of modeling that I really like. we're just going to talk about modeling a lot this episode, okay? See how it's all just kind of soft? And there are areas that are like just blue or just pink, but it's all over the piece. It's not like there's a giant navy blue circle right here. You know what I mean? So yeah. And this is a very big piece. I'll be able to get a second project out of it. I love getting a piece of fabric and being able to get more than one thing out of it. It feels so thrifty. Okay, sorry, I had to take a quick break because I realized I didn't bring the chart down for this one, and I kind of want to have it because I want to read the words off of it. So my next new start is called At Home by Brenda Gervais, and here is the chart. The words say, "For genuine happiness we need not roam, 'tis doubtless found with little and at home." That is so me. I just love it. I love the look of this sampler. I love the lack of an alphabet. I love the saying. I love the robins and the deer. This is the perfect sampler. It's the first one I saw. I mean, I guess, would it even be called a sampler? It does say, "so commonly seen on 19th century Frederick County, Maryland samplers." So yeah, it's a sampler. I really just loved it. And I was messaging with my bestie saying, like, when it came out, it was a new release. It was right around my birthday. And I messaged it to her and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. A sampler got me. I was like, I really might have to stitch this. It's incredible. It's perfect. And like 2 days later, it showed up in my mailbox because my bestie decided to send it to me as a birthday surprise. She's so sweet. So thank you, Sydney. I love it so much. So yeah, I'm really excited. I had a little moment of disappointment when I realized that this designer does not provide DMC conversion. That was a bummer. It's basically overdyed or the highway, and I didn't want to spend the overdyed because there are a lot of colors here, and some of the colors don't have a ton of use, and I'm just trying to be a little thrifty, and I've got enough overdyed projects. I really just wanted DMC. And I found that I think in the future I will probably lean more towards designers that give you the DMC. And that's something I'll check for before, and like it'll come into consideration when I'm deciding whether or not to buy a chart, just because this was a lot of work converting it. I really wish the designers would do it because it's easier for them where they have all the floss right in front of them. So it would be much easier for them to take the DMC chart and kind of pick colors that could work. And also it's their design. So if there's not like a perfect match, they can, you know, they're the designer, they can decide which one they feel works for their design. Instead of everybody who wants to stitch it in DMC having to figure it out on their own, not having the floss in front of them, at least some of us. I mean, I know there are some people out there whose floss tubes I watch who seem to have the complete collection of all overdyed companies. I'm not the person. So I had to like pull up pictures on the internet and try to guess what the floss must look like in real life based on what I thought the lighting was like in the picture, and then make a conversion. And there are a lot of browns in this. Even some of the things on here, like I'll put a picture up so you can kind of see it a little better. But these flowers along the side that look like this, like pink and like corally red, this is not what those colors seem to be in real life. It was hard. The whole thing was hard, but I converted as many as I could, the best I could. I've got a couple of browns and greens I'm waffling on, and I'm going to sort of work around them and make that decision at the end. And then for like the flowers that look pink and coral, I wanted them to look pink and coral. So I just, instead of taking the closest DMC, or what I thought to be the closest DMC, I just picked colors I liked. So yeah, I got through it. A lot of buildup. So here's where I'm at. We'll just jump right in. So I got a good part of a house here. These bricks, so addictive. I would just be like, okay, I'm only gonna stitch like a half an hour. And then I'd be like, put one more brick, and stitching way too late into the night. Which is a good problem to have, right? Just enjoying your stitch so much. So I'm really happy with that. This color is, the fabric here, cloth, whatever you want to call it, is a 36 count linen by Zweigart. The color is platinum. Let me double check that. It's platinum. I was waffling on colors between platinum and cream, and a couple others too. And one of them I had ordered online from 123 Stitch. And then while I was waiting for the order, I started panicking, thinking, I don't think that's going to work. And then I happened to find myself in Stitch New England one day, because that happens, right? Sometimes twice in 1 week if you're me, you just happen to be in this local needlework shop. Yes, that happened to me. And so I took a look at what she had in person and I picked the other one. So either cream or platinum. I got one from each. And then I liked them both. Like once I got both fabrics and sat down with the chart and all the colors I had picked, I could not make up my mind. And I was sitting on the bed and had everything laid out, and Salem hopped up on the bed to hang out with me. And I was like, I don't know, Salem, I can't decide. You just decide. And I like put both fabrics in front of him and he just reached out and put his paw on one. He decided for me, okay? Now I know in real life, cats don't understand what you're saying. They don't like actually speak English, but it really seemed like he got what I was asking. And it's a really cute picture. So now, whenever I look at this, when it's done and hanging on the wall, I will always think of Salem because he selected platinum. That was his opinion. So yeah, that is all of my new starts. Okay, last section, future plans and a little bit of haul, because even though I have to be very thrifty and not purchase a lot, it has been 4 months and my birthday happened in that 4-month time period, so I do have a few things to show you. And the first one is just a piece of fabric. I got this at Stitch New England. It's by Atomic Ranch. It's a 36 count linen and it's blush. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that or what the camera will do, if it will just wash it out and make it white, but it's actually a really pale pink. And I bought it because Stitch New England was having a sale and I thought it might work for sewing cats. I'll put a picture of that chart here. It's a sew to stitch design that I bought like maybe a year ago, and I was gonna try to dye a pink fabric for it, and then when I saw this I thought this could be perfect. And now that I see it in person, I'm wondering if it could also be perfect for my future strawberry shortcake project that I've not mentioned here, but simply because I haven't managed to get the chart yet. I want to get the classic like 1980s vintage cross stitch book and stitch the pattern with strawberry shortcake and custard on it, and this could work for that too. So now I haven't started either project because one, I don't have the chart, and the other one I'm waffling now on whether I should save this for strawberry shortcake or not. So that was my pretty fabric purchase, and the rest of it is a few charts. This first one I've seen a lot of people starting. In fact, I think there might have been a stitch along Christmas in July thing. Christmas is not really my jam, but I do like wintry things, so I picked up this Cosette A Go-Go winter sampler. I am a sucker for anything with woodland creatures, and this is a lot of woodland creatures, so I had to have it. And I actually just recently popped up on my feed, someone had autumn sampler, which I think is a new chart, and it's making me wonder if they're going to do an entire series. That would be awesome. I would stitch them all. I'm not a holiday decorations kind of a person, but I think I could switch things out seasonally. That would be fun. So yeah, I picked that one up because I was worried with the popularity and the way it was like, oh, only one left in this or that shop. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get it. So I picked that one up. No plans to stitch it anytime soon though. The next one I picked up is a Blue Flower new release called Forest Home. Again, with the woodland creatures. This one I really love. The Blue Flower is one of my favorite designers. I love almost every single thing she puts out. I don't have enough wall space to collect them all, honestly, but this one I really, really liked. I like the deer especially, and the little beaver. So cute. I might change the words. I like nature in general. I'm not particularly obsessed with just the forest, and the words, in case you couldn't read them, are our roots are in the depths of the woods, and I think that's really cute, but I might try to see if I can figure out something that would fit in there that's more just general love of nature. So we'll see. Again, that one not stitching anytime soon. I just got really excited. All right, and then the last two were lucky eBay finds. So the first one is a Brenda Gervais chart called Pink Sparrow Sampler. I had seen someone stitch this, I think it was the New Hampshire Stitcher, and I'm pretty sure that's her YouTube channel name. I keep up with her YouTube channel, like that's one of the few that I consistently watch because it's really good, and I will link it in case you haven't seen it, but I'm sure you have. Anyway, she stitched this and I just fell in love with it, but it was sold out everywhere, so I put an eBay saved search just to see if one would show up, and one day one did, and it was just regular retail price, I think $16. not like some astronomical price that kind of out of print charts usually go for. So I bought it, and I don't have current plans to stitch this up, but I did figure out a DMC conversion, and I didn't match it exactly to the overdyes recommended, but rather a combination of that and looking at, there's a picture on the back of the original. So I sort of looked at the two and just chose colors I liked. So that was really fun. I think I really like picking colors, even if I find it a little bit stressful when it's someone else's design. I think it will be really fun when I get into more of making my own designs. Okay, the last one that I got, it's a unicorn chart for me. It's one I've been looking for a while. You've heard me talk about it, and it is Optimuss Garden. I'm so excited! This was the last one I need in this series, the Magical Mystery Tour series by Blackbird Designs. I have Yellow Submarine, Strawberry Fields Forever. My mother got Eleanor Rigby and Blackbird, and actually she bought the Yellow Submarine one too. So we're just sort of we each have half of them. We're going to stitch them and then swap charts and stitch the others. So we'll both end up stitching the whole series. That's the plan. I'm not sure if she'll do them all. I think she just said her favorite is Eleanor Rigby, so I know she's going to do that one. And I know she bought the fabric and some floss for Yellow Submarine, so I know she'll do that too. Not sure about the rest. But I am so excited about this. I'm going to use the same fabric as I did for Yellow Submarine because I have dreams of putting this kind of like collaged on one wall in my house. And so these two will be in one fabric, and then I think the other ones in this series will all be in a totally different fabric, but all the same. And I think that will look really good. I'm going to do a complete floss conversion on this. I'm going to ignore every single recommended floss because of the agony that I had with the Yellow Submarine one with the colors not matching the chart image at all. So instead of just going through that stress, I'm just going to look at the colors and just pick overdyes that I like that are similar in color. That's the way I'm going to roll. So this one I will stitch in the not too distant future. I think I'll start it as soon as Yellow Submarine is done. But yeah, so that's all my future plans, I think. I do have a couple other future plans. I've got a project that I came across that I want to stitch up for my mom for her birthday. That's not till April, but look how early I'm thinking about this. Well done, me. And I think that's about it, other than like a few of my own designs that I'm noodling around with but haven't started. So yeah, that brings us all the way up to date. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you've stuck it all the way through, thank you so much. So hopefully I'll see you really soon, and thank you for watching. Bye!